think we got the thing fixed. I could be wrong. See this purple and black wire here? This is the wire to the solenoid that I took apart and put a new kit in it. Well, I pulled it apart right here at these two wires, put a voltmeter on the purple wire, which is the hot wire that goes all the way to the key. Black wire is just to ground. Stuck my voltmeter on there, this voltmeter here to be exact, and I wasn't getting any reading whatsoever. So that signified I had no power coming to here. When we pushed the key in and turned it, it should engage power to this solenoid. Well, there's several things that could be wrong with this solenoid. These hoses on the back of here can be clogged. We already fixed the leak where the red handle is. But also there could be no power coming from the key due to a broke wire or a bad ignition key. I saw a video on YouTube or comment somewhere on Google where somebody simply sprayed carburetor cleaner in the keyhole up there, and that's what we did. We sprayed carburetor cleaner in there until I started getting a connection voltage indicated on my voltmeter here. So James turned the key a while ago after I hooked these wires back up, and we heard the solenoid click. Now we're going to turn on the water and see if this booger bear will start. I'm hoping it's fixed. When you push it in and you hear the solenoid click, wait a couple seconds to give it a chance to get some gas. Got my fingers crossed that it'll start. If it don't, we still got trouble with that key switch up there. See, anytime you want, James, see if it'll start. Are you pushing it on the key? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to pump up the bulb. That might help. I forgot to pump up the gas pressure. Now try it. Neutral. No, you don't have to push in on it. It was a little hard to start, but it started without having to prime it.
To prime it, so there's still something wrong right there.
I think I need to adjust them carburetors when we get it in the lake. You started it without
It started.
me having to prime it at the red handle. Wonder how hard it is to take that off and clean it. Maybe we'll tinker with that a little bit and see.
Problem is how many wires are in there.
There's a lot of wires in there from what I saw in the wiring diagram. Problem is, if I get it apart, can I get it back together? I can take that nut off real easy. I'll pull these screws off and lift it up and see what, it could be a wasp nest in there. Here's the throttle, and I've loosened these 4 screws. It looks like that plastic cover will lift right off. So that's where we're at when it comes to getting to that ignition key. I'm going to pull that cover off and see what makes it tick. Listen for the click. It never did click.
I think it did, but it just, we can't hear it. We had the cover on.
Oh, we got the cover on now? You should still hear it. Maybe it did click, I don't know. All right, I'll go back there and take the cover off and see if we can hear it click. If it's clicking, we're fixed. We ain't going no further if it's clicking. I'm not sure if we got it fixed permanent, but we got the problem located. Problem is in this key switch right here. I tried to pull this cover off and it's just too short. Looks like you need to take this nut off to get that key out, but when I turned the nut to take it off, the whole switch was turning and I got scared and quit. With the solenoids clicking and engaging, give me that red kill switch. You don't get no fire at all without that on there. Push in on the button just a little bit. Alright. Anyway, we ran the boat. It's running a little rough simply because I never did get all the carburetors adjusted the same on the idle. I've got the proper wrench in there to do it with, but it's a pain in the tail to do today. I might take it up to the lake one day and sit here and adjust each carburetor till it sounds the best. There's a way, it might pay me to go get somebody to adjust them. I thought these vacuum lines that go to the solenoid were clogged. There's one of them right there. But it's working just fine. I'm glad I was tempted to go out and buy a new solenoid, but I'm glad I didn't. What we want to do now is put us a shut-off valve in this fuel line and this oil line, so it doesn't constantly have pressure on them carburetors. I noticed oil just keeps oozing into the carburetors when it's sitting out here with pressure on it. But it's running and we're going to say she's fixed. And I may be. But if you recall last week when I had the fuel lines disconnected, the oil ran through the fuel pump to the point that it was dripping oil right out here in the driveway. When I started it today, we finally got it running, but it was full of oil. Oil pressure stays in this line all the time, and it's leaking by the VRO pump into the carburetors. That's why it smoked like crazy for a while when we first started. So we went down to the auto parts store and got us a 1/4-inch valve and put it in the oil line right here. I hope I ain't done messed up, but I shut it off so we don't have a constant oil pressure on that line all the time when the boat's not being ran. I just got to remember to turn that oil valve on before I crank up the boat. Anyway, we're going to call it the primer solenoid repaired till such time as I buy a new ignition switch.